During COVID lockdown, the home brewer has been king, and that's really hard. Welcome to Brewmance on the Radio. I'm Mike Russell. He is Rob Hunter. Each and every week, we grab a beer of the week. This week, Rob Hunter, why don't you introduce that beer for us?
I shall, since I have shown it. If you're following along on Facebook or on YouTube, you can see the video of this broadcast. Huss Brewing's Hopaloosa Hazy IPA. It's got a cool horse on the front. I haven't had this beer yet. I'm very excited to try it because, again, Huss is one of those brewers that they don't let you down. It's consistent quality products. I'm very much looking forward to this as well.
Here's what you don't have is consistent quality products. Home brewing. Yeah. That's exactly what is not a consistent quality product. It made sense, right? Everybody was drinking a little more during the lockdown. Everybody's drinking a little more during the COVID, trying to maybe hope the alcohol kills any viruses.
Yep.
And you thought, man, I'm spending a lot of money here at Total Wine, Bev Mode, Bottle Shop, whatever it is, and getting growler fills with drive-through again and again and again. Thought, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll give the home brewing technique a try. And I even thought the same thing because I was like, man, I brewed in my 20s. I brewed a lot of beer in my 20s. It'd be like riding a bicycle. No, it's not.
It's not like riding a bike.
I can't tell you how many people have said to me, "It's like, hey, I've been brewing in my garage. You want to try it? I got this blueberry sour wheat Hefeweizen that I'm like, what the frick are you talking about?
Did you intend it to be a blueberry wheat sour Hefeweizen?
And the reason why I say is that the last beer I brewed was a blueberry ale, and it was terrible. It was awful. It was seriously one of the worst things because understand this, it exposes the beer drinker and the craft beer drinker to really what these brewers are doing.
Yeah.
It teaches them that this is not just a science. And this is what I mean by it's not just a science. You take a molecule and a molecule and put it together. The other scientists take a molecule and a molecule, put it together. They're going to get the same thing. They're going to do it the same way. Science is science. So to call them scientists, I think sells them short. They are science artists because they create. It brings kind of the cooking element into science. And when I say cooking element, I don't know. I know, Rob, you cook a little bit, but I cook a lot. And as you're pulling ingredients to do something different with food, you're kind of tasting it in your mouth. Your mind is telling your tongue what that is going to taste like as you're pulling that in. And that entire process of brewing is the same way. So it is your art. It is a science, but it's your art.
I like that because that's why you have different flavors of beer. So that's why maybe different flavors. Let's say if you took 12 IPAs from different brewing. So you have this Huss Brewing Hopaloosa Hazy IPA. And you said, all right, we're going to put Brian Helton's Northeast IPA. We're going to grab Wilderness's Hazy IPA. We're going to put them next to each other. They're all going to taste different.
Yep.
Because they all do the process differently. They all add different things at different times, different hops. They all have their own recipes. That's what makes this amazing. And that's why there are over 100 breweries right now in the state of Arizona, 75 or so right here in the valley, because you have these people that take the science and get creative with it. And that's where the art comes in on Mike's talking about. So, for example, you have the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
You have Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Is it Da Vinci? Leonardo da Vinci's
Mona
Lisa?
Sure, why not?
Whatever.
Yeah.
You have the Sistine Chapel. You have all these Renaissance painters, but they all did different things. Like, even though they painted, like, human faces or whatever, they all look different. It's the same kind of thing with beer. Like, which one's the Mona Lisa? Which one's the Sistine Chapel?
I'll be honest, this is not my first Hazy IPA of the day. Okay, so this Hazy IPA, although it just says Hazy IPA, it should all taste the same, right? Because it's Hazy IPA. Just like a chocolate cake, it's going to taste like a chocolate cake. It's going to taste like a chocolate cake. This is a Hazy IPA. It tastes completely different than what we just had.
Like almost 180 degrees difference, almost the opposite end of the spectrum.
Because to the brewers at Huss, they taste this, and that's exactly what a Hazy IPA should taste like.
Yeah.
Wilderness, same thing. Northeast IPA at Helton, that's to them in their mind exactly what this should taste like, and they put their own stamp on it and their own DNA. And there's so much more to it as we're learning and trying to home brew while we're on lockdown or the COVID hiding, whatever you want to call it these days. You realize, man, thank the good Lord, I can go up and fill a growler over at Saddle Mountain or go over to Transplant and fill up a growler and just appreciate what they have done for me.
It's the part that takes practice. So on our latest podcast, we talked to our boy Cal. Cal was in a band called the Color 8 Band, and he actually works here with us at 550 KFY. On our afternoon show on 550 KFY, Russell Hunter, he's our guy that kind of runs the show. He's the one that makes sure we stay on the air and presses all the buttons. We call him our technical director. But he started playing Guitar Hero, he told us on the podcast. And I'd love it if you go check it out because he told some really crazy stories. He's a 25-year-old guy that has the wisdom of, I don't know, I'm going to say like a 50-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool.
Yeah, 25 going on 52.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But he talked about how he went from playing Guitar Hero to going to school and learning these different guitar techniques. It's the same thing that brewers do, really, is that they might start brewing in their home. They might go, oh, all right, that wasn't bad, or, oh, that was horrible. But there's a love for it that keeps them going, that keeps the passion there. So they keep learning and keep adapting and keep trying new techniques and getting new equipment to make these amazing beers that we get to drink. That's something that, Mike, you and I, if we just went in the garage right now and tried to do it, it might come out okay because we know some basics about how to brew beer. Thanks to our buddy Matt Flanagan at Oso, who helped us kind of brew 3 beers over there that we brewed for charity.
Yeah, but then the hopscotchies came in, and then we didn't remember anything prior to that or some of the thing after that. So I'm still lost. But Matt did his best to teach us how to drink a hopscotch.
Which is basically scotch and what?
Wort.
Yeah, wort. So you take the wort, which is like the pre-part. It's like the leftover stuff, I guess. So that'd be a good way to say it.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. And then you put some scotch in it. Well, it is, but it's like you start to get a sense of, oh, this is becoming beer. But you got to know the science of it. And the first time you do it, even with a self-help kit, you're like, all right, I can get the science. I can follow the steps. But they just elevate. They're like the professionals.
Yeah.
Versus the amateurs in the garage. And no offense to amateurs, because I know some home brewers that kill it. But they're not amateurs. They're like real beer brewers because they've done it more than one time.
Sure, and they know the science and they have a passion for that. Like for me, I have a passion for grilling. I have a passion for cooking. So to learn how to smoke a big piece of meat on a side box smoker, it took a lot of time. It took a lot of failure, and then now I can do anything you want me to cook. You want me to bake a lasagna on it? I can do a smoked lasagna. I just thought of it, and I'm probably going to try it.
Yes,
sometime in the next couple
of
weeks.
Me over to try that.
So, but now you get like the Traegers, and the Traeger is it's cheating. The pellet grills, it's in the grill world is cheating. Because you just set it, it's like the Rompo Peel Hollywood, whatever the thing is. You just set it and forget it.
Yeah,
it's what it is, and you don't need to build up the skills and learn the skills. But I'll tell you this: I'll tell you how rewarding it is. Moving soon to be graduating to one of those, is that I know that I earned it. I know that I learned those different skills from charcoal grilling to sidebox smoker grilling. To regular, propane grilling, whatever it is, I've mastered each of those. And now I'm getting, you know what? I just want the time. I'm good. So people that have tried to home brew and think, man, I keep trying to, okay, finally I got it. But you know what? That was a lot of work. I'm going to go fill a growler.
Yeah, right, for real.
I'm going to stop at Wren House and grab a growler, and we're just going to call it good because I'm going to have them do it. That's, I think, the same evolution of creativity and art. Where whether it's grilling, you start brewing your beer. That's the same way you're doing that, and to the point where you get at least 45 years old, like I am, and think, you know what, enough putting the time into it. I'm just gonna have someone else do it, or I'm gonna cheat.
But see, that's it. There's nothing wrong because I've had your grilling, and my father-in-law has a Traeger. Both are amazing. Both are awesome. Like when you grill, like you made us some elk burgers one day. Oh man, so good. But we did some pizzas on the Traeger. Awesome. Like I don't care how you cheat. It doesn't matter to me. But there's a certain coolness in the creation of it.
A certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. It means or something else. I don't know what it means. I don't know. It's French.
Whatever.
I don't speak Spanish.
Right. But in trying to get more grateful about where you get your beer, and I think this is what the difference is between the mass-produced beers and the beers that we preach about here on the Brewmance on the radio is. Mass-produced beers, yeah, they have brewers, but they're just told that this is the recipe. We brew it in large quantities.
Right.
Do your thing.
There's no young and up-and-comer at Budweiser that's going, I'm going to change the king of beers. No, you're not.
Nope. Well, there's a reason why. It sells billions and billions of dollars worth of beer. And that's totally fine. But that being said, the local brewers are where you get the craftiness. That's why we call it a craft, because it is a craft to make. It's like if you were crafting something in your home, and it's something that you only can do if you practice and practice and practice and practice.
That's true. But the practice becomes worth it. And then if you want to just say, forget this, I'm going to go let the pros do it. And that's cool. You still have that pride of knowing, you know what? I did it. I know it goes into this, and I respect what they do. And I have a larger respect. Like there's a barbecue place out here. They've just crushed it on every level. I have such a respect for what they do because I've done it before.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We're going to drink this beer. I'm going to keep talking to you about beer. Arizona Zoo Beer Radio Show, the Brewmance on the Radio, continues next here on KFY. A beer coming on a drone. Oh, it sounds like a match made in heaven for the Brewmance. We are the Brewmance, Arizona's only beer radio show, the Brewmance on the Radio. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love you. Let's have a beer and hang out because we know that division is thriving. But even though we're all divided, mask, no mask, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Green Party, doesn't matter. Let's have a beer and let's talk about it because we still can converse even though we see things differently. That's why Mike Russell and I, Rob Hunter, created the Brewmance. And we each week grab a beer of the week to try, tell you all about it. Mike Russell, what are we drinking today?
Huss Brewing's Hopaloosa Hazy IPA, and it came in a tall boy. So I was excited about that. Here's a note. If you want to be a beer of the week, either send it to us or offer yours in a tall boy because that's the first thing I'm going to. I love it. Because it's got to last an hour at least, or at least half the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little ones don't usually last that long. So
well,
throw out there.
So this one checks in at 6.6% ABV, 16 ounces of handcrafted beer from the Huss Brewing Company, owned by two amazing people, Jeff and Leah Huss.
Yes.
Awesome. And it says brewed with love by 24 people who cared. I need to know the backstory.
Hi, Jeff and Leah.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Okay. Let me get into this. I'm going to get to drones in a second. But what I want to first start with is I went to a place out in Scottsdale, and I was trying to meet up with our buddy Dennis from Mother Road.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for him. So I was like, there's a place, what's got a fire pizza? Ooh, and self-serve beer? All right, let's go try this out. So I tried this self-serve beer thing out, and I was impressed-ish with it. I do enjoy having somebody, I just say, I want the Hopaloosa Hazy IPA, and somebody just brings it to me. Me to go serve it to myself, I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool-ish. I got a card, I put it on there, and it tells me how much I'm pouring at a time. And the question was raised, is that going to be the new model post-COVID-19?
Why? Why would it?
Is it because we don't have? Because we don't have more people touching it. It's just you grab your glass and you pour it now, right? Now, here's the key. And I was looking this up. This is craftbrewingbusiness.com that brought this up. And I think it's a very, very good thing to look at. They said in a typical bar or tap house that there's only 77% of a keg that's used.
Really?
The rest goes to loss or theft.
Theft? Who's stealing beer?
Who doesn't steal beer? So
does that include samples? Because
samples might be in there too. Yeah.
Because I might get one or two samples, but like Lady Brewmance is like, I want to sample everything before I buy. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but she does like to get a couple of samples before she goes all in.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, but then to this other deal with the card that you have to put in there and pour yourself. Ready for this?
Yep.
98% is actually used.
Wow.
And paid for. So as far as a business model for the businesses, this is probably the best way to go. For the patrons, I don't know. Huh. So you have to find kind of that balance. Do my people want me to serve them a beer, or do they want to serve themselves a beer? Am I going to lose people in the meantime that want to have their beer served to them?
Yeah.
And what's that 77 to 98% of the keg deal? Where am I going to break even? Where do I switch business model?
Well, that's interesting too, because the last time I was in Hawaii, which was a couple of years ago, because it was one of those when Southwest first started flying to Hawaii, the flights were like ridiculously cheap. So we got, I don't know, $250 round trip tickets to go to Hawaii. We're like, we're going to Hawaii. Going to Hawaii. I think you had to fill in for me in the mornings.
I did.
Mike, going to Hawaii. Sorry, tickets for $250.
Great. I got to get up at 2.
No longer.
That's right, buddy.
Now, we went to a place in Honolulu because Amy was like, I'm going to go do some shopping. Why don't you go to that beer spot? I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the beer spot.
She's an angel.
Yeah, but it was one of those self-serve spots. So I go in and I get my card and I'm sitting there. I'm just sitting there on the bar, like at a table by myself, just drinking beer. And I'm like, this is weird. It doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm drinking alone. Where if there's a bartender pouring you beers and you get to pick them, you at least get to talk about, oh, I'd like to try that. Oh, maybe I'll try that. Oh, how's your day going? So that doesn't feel like you're drinking alone. So if you're going out alone, that's a challenge. Now, if you're going out in a group of people, like if you and I, Mike, were to go out to the self-serve place, we'd do some damage on that spot, and that'd be fine.
Yeah, but that makes sense because beer, that to me, in truth be told, I do have my garage fridge beers, the staples that are in there, and I can have beer whenever I want. Well, truth be told, when I get back, I mean, I get home after our show, Russell and Hunter here on 550 KY. I get home about 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to shower up. I'm going to hang with the kids for a bit and maybe watch something with the wife, maybe pour myself a glass of whiskey. Just a little thing, a shot of whiskey, and then I'm going to a little nightcap and I'm out. I don't start pounding beers when I get home. So I think that beer is becoming to me just a conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming quality over quantity. And if I'm going to sit down and have a beer, I'm going to sit down and have a really good beer. And I'm going to be with really good people, and that is what's going to that's going to be my beer experience. Because through this show and through our journey that we've had for the last 4 years, is that I've grown such an appreciation for what I think beer should taste like and what beer means to me. So yeah, that experience and being able to talk to somebody is most important.
I love that. I think that's fantastic because it really sums up. As you grow and you mature, Mike called me mature this week on our radio shows. Bro, I'm like, nobody's ever called me mature, but that's exactly what he's talking about.
Brewmance paid me.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fine. How much? At least give you a couple of beers worth of money.
Exactly.
On that one.
Yes, that's right.
But that's it, right? You're not. For example, during this COVID-19, I'll just I'll go off script here a little bit and talk about mask, no mask. I'm not wearing a mask because I don't think that they work. I've looked at a lot of science and it doesn't work, but that doesn't matter. If you want to wear a mask, I don't care. Just wear a mask. I'm not begrudging you. I don't look down upon you. But the point is, I made my decision and others haven't. And a lot of people going out in Scottsdale and they're in the clubs and the news media is trying to shame the 22-year-olds that are going to clubs in Scottsdale. And I'm like, look, they're not dying of COVID-19. They might get sick for like 4 days and they'll get over it because they're 22 and 25 and have healthy immune system.
Right.
So they don't care. They think it's worth the risk because they want to resume their life. And there's a lesson in that in living. But they're going out oftentimes to, like we did in our 20s, to get drunk, to get hammered. Mm-hmm. I'm not really doing that anymore at 42 years old. I'm like, you know what? I want to enjoy my drinks. I have maybe a glass or two of whiskey at night. I'm going to have a Hopaloosa or two, maybe 3, and then I'm kind of good.
Yeah.
And every now and again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to wake up the next day, and I'm going to regret it for the next 4 days because I'm over 40 and hangovers last 4 times as long.
Yes.
But, the point is you mature and you just enjoy things a little bit more. Like every sip is like, oh, this is a good beer. Rather than like, I'm going to have 12 Coors Lights because I'm just trying to get drunk.
Yeah, no, the trying to get drunk thing is never a good thing for me.
Right.
No. But there's time in the day where I'm like, I'd like to have a beer right now.
Nothing wrong with
that would taste fantastic right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, still 45. If I start at like 1 in the afternoon, I'm probably not stopping. And that's the thing with beer. Oof, man, I'm telling you. The good thing about whiskey is that if you start and don't stop, sleep will stop you.
Yeah.
Sleep will stop you in a hurry.
By the way, though, like I started day drinking a couple of weeks ago. Mike and I I went out with Lady Brewmance. We wanted to go out because we hadn't gone out since COVID. So we're like, let's go out. So I got a text from you and you're like, oh, we're down the street. I'm like, all right, let's link up. So it started at 1, and I think by like 9, I basically consistently drank, and I was like asleep by 10:05.
Yeah.
And I was
well, I think we stopped at 10, and the 10:05 was the car ride home.
Yes,
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Which thankfully my wife is smart enough to know when Rob's starting to do it. I'm like, I'm not okay. Rob's gonna drink, and I'm just gonna drive his drunk butt home.
But I mean, I think that's a cool thing to look into if you like the craft beer world. Like, we talk about our friends that we know that do the whole bottle trading and things like that. And I mean, they are really they get this portion of it where it is, I'm going to sit down to this beer.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to enjoy this beer because I traded for it. It's fantastic. And that this is right up my alley. I'm so excited for this beer instead of a, Founders Centennial, which I would just take 5 to the head like that. It wouldn't, you
Absolutely.
know, just I'm not appreciating it as I'm drinking it. I just like the taste of it, and I'm just gonna that's what I'm going to drink that day. They understand that. And I think that the difference between the non-craft beer world and the craft beer world is craft beer should be able to, I'm going to sit and appreciate this for a bit. And it's kind of, I think it's a better beer vibe than just, you know, taking a bunch to the head.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about here on the Brewmance on the radio. Is this is the kind of beers you want to sit down and have a conversation with, because they taste better to sit because you can enjoy it longer. And you know that the artisans, what we talked about just a few minutes ago, are the ones that are making it. It just creates this great atmosphere, especially the way that a lot of these breweries are set up, is that it's a great place to just hang out and have a conversation.
Absolutely. And I think that we will, trust me, people. I believe in America. I believe in Arizona. We will bounce back from all of this. I know we're going to lose, unfortunately, some of our craft breweries, but we're not going to lose all of them. We're not even going to lose half of them. We're going to lose 75% of them. We are going to stay around and be strong and keep this vibe going and going and going.
So we never told you about the drones. We're going to do that next.
Yes, we are.
On the radio. It's 550 KFYI.
Some call it beer delivery. Others call it target practice with prizes. It's Brewmance on the radio on 550 KFYI. We appreciate you hanging out with us. This week's beer of the week is Hopaloosa Hazy IPA by Huss Brewing, because we keep it local.
Yeah.
Because this is Arizona's only craft beer radio show right here at Brewmance on the radio on 550 KFYI here each and every week, 6 to 7 on Saturday nights. So I'm a fan of Amazon. I don't think I haven't hidden that by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't get into their politics. I don't get into any of their nonsense. I get into what they have, and if they can deliver to my house in a day or 2 days, fantastic. I'm all about it. When they started saying that they were going to use drones for delivery, I got excited. Because understand, I buy a lot from Amazon. So the novelty of seeing the smiley face package on my doorstep when I come home and go, oh, I forget what I ordered. Wow, let me go see that.
Even though it was only like a day or two ago
you
ordered it, you still forget.
Well, I'm 45 years old. I'm
you're going to blame the old age brain. Okay.
So anyway, it's kind of worn off. I'm like, oh, great, we got another package. I wonder what that is. If it came drone style, then that would add a whole new level to it, and I would be buying, I'd be spending money that I don't have. Brewdog Brewery has begun using drones for beer delivery.
Oh,
there you have it, right there.
That's kind of cool. They have a video up on their Twitter page that shows it's kind of, we're exploring it. It's in the UK, in Columbus, Ohio. They also have one. They have a drain.
Wait. It's in the UK, Columbus, Ohio?
Well, it's in the UK and Columbus,
thank
Ohio.
you much. I appreciate it.
Because this is where they have their hotel. I believe it's Columbus, Ohio, where Brewdog has their hotel. And they have like a 42-acre campus around this kind of hotel, and they'll just drop a beer off for you.
I want that.
It's very cool.
See, that's cool. And you know something? It's innovative and fun. And when people are, and I'm not railing, when people are afraid of the coronavirus, afraid to be social, afraid to get out, things like that, what a gift and how cool that is that something like this could happen. Like their whole day is just misery, and I'm in the house and I can't leave. And God bless you. I understand that you are. That's fine. But then a drone shows up to your front yard with a 4-pack of tall boys or a 6-pack of beer. And you're like, okay, my day is made. My week is made. Life is good again. Because, honestly, what we've seen in this shutdown, we've seen in this lockdown with social distancing and all that, we've missed the human interaction that we so desperately need, that is in our core and our DNA. It has led to depression. It has led to substance abuse. It has led to, it's a bad thing. We need something to brighten up our day.
For sure.
Something that isn't a celebrity going, we're in this together. I'm in my beautiful 80,000 square foot mansion. We're in this together. We're sacrificing. It's nothing like that. It's, holy crap, I just had a drone deliver beer to me. I love that.
Take that, celebrities. You can take your $80,000 mansion and be quiet about it, because I got beer delivered by a drone.
Because I would rather be in a small house and have beer delivered by a drone than an 80,000 square foot mansion.
Look.
I'm kidding. I would love the 80,000 square foot mansion. If they say money can't buy happiness, I'd love to give it a shot.
I'm down with that. But at the same time, if you have 80,000 square feet, how many square feet do you actually hang out in? Like, I'm going to go play some pool in my pool hall.
Let me call Jeffrey Epstein. Hold on.
Oh,
I
really?
kid. He had an island.
And he's dead.
So they say.
How?
I kid.
Question.
I kid. No, because I'm watching that documentary, Rob, and it is the most disturbing thing I think I've ever watched.
Yeah, that's why I was glad that the last time we hung out, I had a little too much. So Lady Brewmance drove me home. She started watching it, and I was kind of in and out. I'd like watch it for a little bit. I'd fall asleep. I'd watch it for a little bit. I'm like, glad I didn't get the full picture. It's like 4 hours worth of a child molesters in his posse's attempts to recruit underage women to this island. And the list of people that went to the island is insane.
That's episode 1.
Yes.
Okay. Crazy. That's the tip of the iceberg of what this jackhat got away with.
That makes you want to order drone beers and beers and beers and beers because there are people like that in the world.
Yes. But
crazy.
Here's the deal. If you have beer delivered via drone, at least it ain't being wasted.
That's true. That's true. A lot of beer is being wasted right now. Cool. So much so that they're calling it John Hanselman is the chief executive order of Vanguard Renewables. He talked to Bloomberg. He said, this is a tsunami of kegs because so many beer is going bad. Because typically, beer has a shelf life, at least in a keg, between 90 and 180 days. So 90 days, 3 months, 180 days, 6 months. So we're 3 months into COVID. Tons of beer has had to be dumped out. So they're like, what do we do with this? A lot of them are turning it into either hand sanitizer or gas of some kind.
Okay, gas, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but not like gas.
It's got to be like, really?
Yeah, I don't know what's.
It's not like $18 a gallon gas?
It could be.
Listen, the Falcon, my truck, my Ford F-150, 35-gallon tank. I get about 15 miles to the gallon. If they're putting beer in this, okay, let's go. Come on, come on. Give me under $2 a gallon and I'm happy. Holy mackerel. I think it sounds tragic, but I think there's opportunity there. Because you can go to, I'm pretty sure you can go to eBay, you can go to Craigslist right now, and you could probably find a kegerator, a pretty cheap kegerator. Because it's always cool to have a kegerator at first, and then there's always the time where your spouse goes, you need to get rid of that thing. So they're going to sell it for like $100. So $100, these breweries are darn near giving away these kegs. So enjoy, take advantage.
Well, right.
I think it's a good idea.
I had a kegerator once, and the problem was not only that, because once you open the beer, you're like, I got to drink all this. And Amy doesn't want any of it. Lady Brewmance, I got to drink it all myself. Not that was a problem, but it also added to the wasteland quite a bit. And there was only certain kinds of beer you get in the kegerator. It's like one of those mini kegerators. So it was like Heineken and Amstel Light.
No, that's not a kegerator. I'm talking a big boy kegerator. Dude, you're 42 years old. Yeah. By the way, happy birthday tomorrow, my man.
Oh, thanks.
Very proud of you.
42.
You're proud of you for making it.
Yay. Good job.
But seriously, you get a big boy kegerator and you get to you take all this beer that is going to be thrown away or turn into freaking hand sanitizer, and you actually do something good with it. Like invite your neighbors over and have a craft beer conversation with your neighbors. The people that when you see them outside, you pull into your garage and you hit the garage door so it goes down while you're getting out of your car. So it kind of tells them, hey, whatever, I don't want to talk to you.
Like, leave me alone. But that's kind of it, right? It's like this whole thing of where we're at is what happens to the beer supply? Because you imagine that the supply of beer is going to decrease, at least in the kegs, because still not a lot of people going out. Like, I've been out a couple of times, and it's like, this feels weird because, like, there's a lot of empty space. So I was just in Utah last week in Salt Lake City. So Justin from Earn Your Booze and I, we drove up to High West to make whiskey. They also make Western Standard beer. So they age beer in these Western High West.
Fabulous. Best campfire beer I've ever had. So good. So we go up to the spot, and it's an hour and a half away because they're doing social distancing. It's only like one group per room, and that felt weirder than it was here in Arizona. But you're sitting there and you're like kind of enjoying it at the same time because no one's around. It's like going out on a Monday night every night. All right, I'll give you that.
But I like crowds. I like being around people.
But I want to go back to the beer that's being wasted. It's like it's Saddle Mountain Brewing out in the West Valley. They made 643 for the spring training that was canceled about a week in.
Right.
And so they have all this beer because they were selling a lot of 643 at the stadiums. So I told them, I'm like, do not let this go to waste. Please don't. I'll buy a kegerator if I have to. I'll buy 10 kegerators if I have to. Do not. This is a perfect beer. It's a session IPA. It's fantastic. Or just give me a straw and just point to the nearest spot. I'm going at it right now. I think I'm not in the minority there of craft beer drinkers. If we can find a good deal on a keg, we would go get a kegerator and just invite the friends over.
Yeah.
And say, let's just kill this thing. Or I remember I was at an event where Earth, Wind, and Fire was playing. And Earth, Wind, and Fire, this was a house.
Nice.
It wasn't a concert. It was a house.
That's phenomenal.
They kept blowing the fuses. The minute they blow the fuses, there was a bunch of extension cords that would come from all around the neighborhood into the backyard. It looked like they were trying to invade us with grappling hooks, right? They're like, keep the music going. And we'd plug all the stuff in and get right back to it. And because the whole place was like, I mean, if you're worried about not being able to drink all that beer, or your waistline, Rob, is have the friends come over like me with the dad bods that rock it.
Do it.
I had a salad for lunch.
Good for you. Salad for lunch. You can drink beers at night.
Damn right.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. I'm down with it. But yeah, there's always a place to do it. I just had some hand sanitizer that smelled like tequila. It was kind of nasty. Like not good tequila, like cheap tequila. So,
just now?
Well, just last week.
Oh.
Ooh, it's nasty.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that. No. In a moment, when we come back, the Brewmance on the radio, we'll give you a review of Huss Brewing's Hopaloosa Hazy IPA. So don't you go anywhere. We're coming right back here on 550 KY.
We've said it once. We've said it, I don't know, at least 3 times. Beer is healthy. Yes, even for triathletes. Welcome to Brewmance on the radio. I am Mike Russell. He is Rob Hunter. We are Arizona's only craft beer radio show. Each and every week, we gather around a beer of the week, a local beer of the week. This week, it is Huss Brewing's Hopaloosa Hazy IPA. We're going to review that for you in just moments. But I also am a triathlete.
Sorry, what?
That's messed up, man. That's messed up. I am not a triathlete.
That was me cheering you on.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. My daughter is stepping into the world of triathlons.
Nice.
And I was excited to find, that's Intern Beans, by the way. Intern Beans is making it happen. USA Triathlon, the organization that does, I don't know, Olympic or something triathlons here in the United States, has partnered with Athletic Brewing Company. Why? Because beer is good for you.
Yeah.
Athletic Brewing Company is a non-alcoholic beer company.
By the way, we did try one of their beers, their IPA.
Did.
You can check our YouTube channel, our Facebook page. In fact, maybe we'll post it on this. We'll repost it here.
Oh, yeah.
As we get going here. Because actually, it wasn't bad as far as a non-alcoholic beer
not
goes.
At all.
Yeah. And we tried some other non-alcoholic beers. We haven't even released that footage yet because, well, they didn't live up to Athletic Brewing's prowess, if you will.
Right. I would understand that. But Athletic Brewing has partnered with USA Triathlon. Now, that means that USA Triathlon, do you think they want their athletes, their triathletes, to ingest anything that isn't going to either add to their performance or at least give them some sort of enjoyment without affecting or impacting negatively their performance in a triathlon?
Nah.
Absolutely not. Now, okay, now keep in mind, let's be honest. Let's talk like grown-ups. These people eat carb paste, okay? Like we go on a low-carb diet to lose weight. They eat carb paste just to stay alive in these triathlons. But they partner with Athletic Brewing through June of 2023.
Hey.
They're all in with that. And they understand that there are health benefits to beer. They just take away the alcohol part of it.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of it. And I think that they kind of say that dark beers are good, too, because it has all these nutrients in it. When you drink them after you work out, it's like, oh, okay, you're replenishing your body in a certain way. So I'm down with that. I should start doing that because I've been doing some CrossFit workouts. I'm like, I should just drink a beer after I'm done with the CrossFit workout because those workouts are hard.
Yeah. Rob started with CrossFit, so he's going to talk about CrossFit all the time.
I'm a CrossFitter.
I kid. So, but there's also our buddy Paul Ihander who runs a lot of marathons. He works with or sponsored by in some way. I don't know how it works out, but Chocolate Milk.
Yeah.
And they're study after study saying chocolate milk after a race or after a big workout is a really good thing to have. So I wouldn't doubt that they would find the benefits of beer that has all natural products. It is, I mean, why don't they put that on every can, by the way? All natural. We've seen it brewed. We've brewed it ourselves. There's nothing non-natural about what goes in. I'm being serious. Why wouldn't you say that?
Right.
Every single beer, all natural.
All natural.
Because
Four ingredients.
It works in packages, does it? On packages
Absolutely.
of different foods, right? All natural. Which is a bunch of BS. Yeah, which is a bunch of BS on packaged items, but they still say all natural. Totally not all natural. This, au natural. People.
Absolutely. I love it. Why not? I dig it.
Yes.
So I'm down with that. I like that. Athletic Brewing doing it. I also like the weird beer of the week this week.
Yeah, I know you do.
I do. It's from Rhode Island.
Yes.
Wait, they make beer in Rhode Island. Yes, even in Rhode Island, they make craft beer. This is a brewery called Smug Brewing in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Smug.
Fantastic. Well, Rhode Islanders are kind of smug sometimes. No offense, Rhode Islanders.
So are New Englanders.
Well, yeah, because we have Rhode Islanders.
Well, yeah, okay. So are Bostoners. How about that?
Well, sure, but here's the
Bostonians.
Thing. I'll tell you a little secret. Mm-hmm. Rhode Islanders are jealous because they're not from Boston, live in a different state. The state is about this big. It's real tiny, small state in the union. They get real mad.
Okay.
You know what? I will say this about Rhode Island is at least you're not from Connecticut.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Because Connecticut can't figure out if they're New England, New York. They're half Yankees fans, half Red Sox fans. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the New England Patriots represents all 5 New England states. For those that don't know, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, New England, Maine, 6 New England states.
Now, by the way, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
at 40-something years old, you taught me that a couple years ago. Really?
Well, the 6.
I did not know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are New England states.
Yeah.
Yeah, we count Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. New England Patriots represent all 6 states. Well, they in New England are the top dog. 6 Super Bowls. We're very happy about it. But
here we go.
You may have noticed.
Mm-hmm. One for each represented state.
Exactly.
Yes.
That actually makes sense. I never thought about it that way either. So each state gets
You're welcome.
It's a beautiful thing. But Tom Brady's no longer on the New England Patriots. Neither is Rob Gronkowski. They now have gone south to greener pastures, the Tampa Bay
I don't know about
Buccaneers.
Greener pastures, champ.
More humid pastures.
There you go.
Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So some in New England not very happy about that, including Rhode Island Smug Brewing. So they have their beer that they put out about this. And it's a weird beer of the week just because of the name. It is called Traderade.
Yes.
The can art features a chicken in a pirate hat with Traderade written on the font similar to the one that Gatorade's use. And it looks like, of course, a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. It's got the Tampa Bay pirate hat on it. Oh, it is great. It's meant for Tom Brady going south. Robert Gronkowski, take him. Take that old man who's our age with you.
Okay, here's the game. They got Tom Brady. Tom Brady, one of the, if not the greatest quarterback of all time.
What do you mean? It's no debate.
There is one of the greatest, and I'm saying top 3 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. That can you at least take that for the love of grief?
No, fine.
The fact that he went down to Tampa, nobody cares.
Right.
The fact that Gronk came out of retirement and said, "I'm going to go play with my man," I think that is what made them so hurt that they made this beer. Probably. I don't think the Brady left. Everyone knew Brady was going to leave. Yeah. The fact that probably the best tight end we've ever seen left it, came out of retirement to be with him. That's what made them all pissy.
So good job, that's it. They did. And this brewery in Rhode Island, Smug Brewing, came up with a beer, Traderade. I kind of want to try this. It's an imperial fruit sour with sea salt. I don't know what that even means. A key lime sour. Is that meant to make fun of Tampa? I'm not sure.
That's just something that comes out of New England. It sounds snobby.
It does sound snobby.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's that fits perfectly, and I do not want to try it.
All right. Well,
I'll try it. If you order one, I'll grab one.
I don't even know if you can do that, but I didn't want to go to Rhode Island.
But it was funny because I was
going to Rhode Island.
I was looking online to order a beer that we couldn't get here for your birthday, and now I want to try to get that one. How about that? Now I would try it if that came in here.
Yeah, I would try it too. Just because.
No, it's going to make it happen.
Speaking of trying, what about this beer? Huss Brewing Company's Hopaloosa Hazy IPA. That is our beer of the week. Each week here on the Brewmance on the radio, we feature a beer. We've done a pretty good job of keeping it local. This one here, Tempe, Arizona. They got their Uptown Phoenix brewing spot. Oh, it's not a brewing spot, but their tap room as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's a big beefy beer. It's a big tall boy beer.
Now you're pausing because you think you want me to go now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go.
I'm in.
Your spot.
It's got a horse on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I've said several times, I don't like false advertising. Horses are the most powerful, majestic. I just dig them. I
Beautiful.
think they're fantastic. They're only second to one land animal, and that is the rhinoceros.
Nice.
Yeah, to me, in my world, I love horses. So when I see this, you call it a Hopaloosa Hazy IPA, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what are you taking such a powerful animal and making it a hazy, like some fruity, citrusy kind of thing? You're false advertising until I taste it. I'm like, there you go. There's that beefiness. There's that this doesn't have as much citrus and sweetness as you find in a lot of hazy IPAs. It's beefier. It's more robust. And I like it quite a bit. I really do. I'm an 8.5 all day on this thing. 8.5.
See, that's very interesting because I actually taste a lot of I love the score. I taste a lot of the fruitiness in it. So what they say in the back is that you're going to get flavors of tangerine, grapefruit, guava, and pineapple. It's a delicious hazy IPA named for the strength, pride, and majesty of the Native American Hopaloosa horse. It's kind of cool. I like it. It kind of came at me a little bit because I did not expect the flavor profile that comes with it, with all that fruitiness. So I'm going to take one more sip.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting a lot of the sweetness. And to me, with a really sweet palate, because I don't eat sweets.
True.
So when something is super and mildly sweet, I taste the sweet first. Not getting a lot of sweet in this.
Yeah, I get a lot of layers. I get kind of a bitterness up front and then like a nice, cool, kind of refreshing-ish kind of finish that almost is like the opposite of the bitterness of it. So I'm kind of digging. What'd you give it, 8.5?
Yep. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to find anything wrong with this,
right?
At all. By any stretch.
I'm going to match you. I'm going to make it easy. 8.5. Good. I think really good beer.
I'm glad you liked it because you didn't have that. I had that during quarantine.
Yeah,
this is one of our quarantine beers.
This is the first time I've had it. I'm very impressed. Once again, Huss Brewing. You know, they've shot up the ranks as far as how much beer they sell across the state of Arizona because they just make quality products, good drinks, easy to drink. Make good beers. What are you going to do?
They make good beers. They get it. They did they started a general store at one of their locations during COVID lockdown. I mean, they understand. They get what Arizona's all about. They get what Arizonans are all about. And I think that they have something very, very cool here that I can't wait to hear my brother-in-law say in my brother in South Carolina say, wow, I just tried this Huss beer. Have you tried it out there? Yeah, I want these guys to go nationwide. And I think they can, and they will.
No doubt about it. We got to get out of here. We are the Brewmance. His name is Mike Russell. My name is Rob Puncher. Thanks for hanging with us. Brewmance.beer is the website. Until next time.
Cheers, everybody.